So I wanted to make a schedule for all the upcoming fights for RGBA, starting with November 16th, Friday, 2018. We got Aaron Morales, who's 4-0, versus Francisco Javier Lapisco, who's 8-0. That name hadn't been released, but this Aaron Morales is fighting on Alex Salcedo versus Maurice Hooker's title fight. That's the main event. The venue is the Chesapeake Energy Arena, and it's in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and the promoter is Top Rank. And then on the next day, that Saturday, November 17th, we have Brandon Bam Bam Rios, who's 34-4-1, versus Ramon Alvarez, who's Canelo's brother, who is 27-6-3. The location is in Kansas. The venue is the Kansas Star Arena. There's several promoters putting this event on, but mainly Matchroom, which is ran by Eddie Hearn. It's going to be on the DAZN app, and the main event for this card is Big Baby Miller. And another significant fight to look out for on this card is Luis Cuba Arias versus Gabe Rosado. Luis, his only loss is versus Daniel Jacobs, so that's another fight to look out for. Maybe possibly worth getting your 30-day free trial from DAZN. Then we have on November 24th, Joseph Adorno, who's 10-0, who I believe is a top ranked fighter. I'm not 100% sure. I gotta do a little bit more research on that. The location of the fight is in Puerto Rico. There is no opponent at the time on BoxRec. But there's a chance that Robert might not be doing this fight. Last time he spoke on an interview this week, he mentioned several fights, this not being one of them. He's mentioned it in the past, but he didn't mention it this week. So it'll be interesting to see if Robert's in the corner for Joseph Adorno from, I believe he's from Allenstown, Pennsylvania. And he's got a brother named Jeremy who might possibly be getting signed with Top Rank, and he also sounds like he's the connection with Alexis Espino and RGBA. Then on December 1st, we have Jesse Bam Rodriguez, who's 7-0 with 4 knockouts. And this name was recently released as well. We haven't had this name, but it's in BoxRec now. Axel Aragon Vega, who's 10-2-1. This is Bam's second 8-round fight. He had his last fight was September 30th in Ontario at the Citizens Bank Arena. And all this is taking place on Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury's fight at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Also on the card is Carlos Mexicanito Licona, who's 13-0, versus Mark Anthony Barriga, who is 9-0 with 1 knockout. This is an IBF title fight. And there was mention of Mark Anthony Barriga being promoted by Manny Pacquiao Promotions. So that's an interesting fact. All this taking place at the Staples Center, December 1st. Then on December 8th, at the Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, we have Hector Tanajara, who's 15-0 with 5 knockouts, facing Robert Manzanares, who's 36-2-0. I believe this is Hector's first 10-round fight. Also on the card, Jonathan Thunder Navarro from East LA, who's 15-0 with 8 knockouts, and he's not listed. He's not listed on the card yet, so there's no opponent on BoxRec. So the promoter is Golden Boy Promotions, and the significance, this might be Hector and Jonathan's first fights at 10 rounds. There have been many hints and interviews of RGBA being very busy in the month of December. The date has been thrown around of December 14th, and this might be an opportunity for fighters from RGBA that are on Top Rank to get on this card. So the main event is Zurdo Ramirez versus Jesse Hollywood Hart. This is their second fight. They fought earlier, and Zurdo got the win. It wasn't pretty, but he got the win. The first fight was in Tucson, Arizona. This one will be taking place at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas. So this would be a great opportunity for maybe some top rank prospects like Isidro Ochoa or Brian Lua, or even potentially Ruben Rodriguez or maybe even Josue Vargas, who's been seen sparring in Riverside at RGBA. So they might load up. They might load up on all their top ranked fighters on this card. But as of now, Robert or Pita have not mentioned who. But this is a date to look out for. And then there was a huge announcements this week with PBC rolling out all their schedule. And the biggest fight for RGBA, one of the biggest fights for RGBA, was the fight announcement for Josecito Lopez versus Keith One Time Thurman. They gave us a date, they didn't give us a venue, and they didn't give us a city. But January 26, 2018. The most important thing about this date is that the Garcia family has a family engagement that day. So we don't know who's going to corner Josecito's fight. Um, Clearly, it's a family business uh, with Pita, Robert, and the Big G. So it's going to be interesting what plan they come up with in order to support Josecito Lopez in his fight against Keith One Time Thurman. And then on December, I skipped one. I forgot to mention this fight. December 15th on the Canelo Alvarez Rocky Fielding undercard. Virgil Ortiz, 11-0, 11 knockouts, fighting out of I think it's Grand Prairie, Texas, uh, or Dallas, Texas. It's box rec, it's Dallas. But in Madison Square Garden, his opponent has not been decided, but he is on the commercial that the zone is flying. Virgil Ortiz, 11-0 with 11 knockouts. David Lemieux is on the card, and his opponent has been named, and Ryan Garcia is also on the card, and I believe his opponent has been named as well. But Virgil, as of now, we don't have a name for an opponent for Virgil. And then Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence has been announced for March 16th, 2019 at the AT&T in Arlington, Texas. Cowboys, where the Cowboys play. This is a pay-per-view event. This is all after the Super Bowl takes place. So there'll be tons of commercials airing this fight, which is fantastic for their pockets. So more information coming soon. Thank you for watching. More videos coming soon. Thanks.